Well, a jobless recovery will spell trouble for many retailers. Our guest this morning is a seasoned retail pro. He's led such consumer brands as Limited, Reebok, Esprit, Tommy Hilfiger, and Liz Claiborne, to name a few. And he now serves on the boards of beer company Sam Adams and also Godiva Chocolate and J. Margolis. Great to have you with us in the studio this morning.
Thank you for having me, Betty.
Certainly a tough going for a lot of industries, but retail in particular with what's going on with consumers. What do they need to do to bring consumers back to their store?
Well, traffic is down, and I think retailers have cut as much as they can cut. They've looked at, obviously, overhead. They've looked at where they've layered on people over many years. The key is speed to market. The key is getting that consumer back in the store. Traffic is the measure we all look at. And I think newness, freshness, our industry has to get back to creating products that the consumer is, excited by.
Is traffic still the right measure, though?
I think traffic is one measure, conversion of your traffic. So you have a consumer that's coming in that is a loyal consumer to you. What are you offering them? How many units per transaction? What's your average dollar sale? How can you get that higher and higher? What's the level of hospitality? What's the level of flow and newness that gets that consumer coming back on a regular basis? I think traffic is, though, a key measure.
Now, you've noted that H&M, Zara, Forever 21, some of those retailers are actually doing well because they're turning inventory very fast. Why is that?
Well, it's great that you point that out, because I think those are going to be the benchmarks for the future of all the businesses. It's really interesting to me that companies say they don't have to be fast or they don't move quickly. Those companies can hit trends. So if denim is starting to trend really well now and it's early in the back-to-school season, they can jump on and be back in September in a major way. Companies that don't move quickly, they've structured their company around calendars and product that gets the consumer on a regular basis. They flow newness on a regular basis. And I think that some of the older brands, some of the Liz, Jones, Talbots, Ann Taylor, a lot of those brands have not thought that speed was important. But if you're filling in and you're talking about the consumer, ultimately you're just going to be a better merchant by being closer to season and being able to react to things that are good or bad.
Jay, I was just curious, Deirdre, here. I mean, you just talked about Zara and H&M. What about the high end? In other words, the designs from whom Zara and H&M are actually borrowing. How are they going to hold up? Which are the best brands?
Well, I don't think they actually, in our industry, you are out looking at trends in all kinds of stores and reacting to your past cash register in terms of what's done well for you and not done well for you. I think we all look at the higher end designers, the Burberrys and the Pradas and the Guccis, but you really have to take it down to the boundaries of your own brand. I think they are all set up for speed to market. They understand the raw material fabric side of it, and they're quick to respond to consumers, whether it be a color, whether it be a silhouette, whether it be a shape. They're good at getting this out there in a very, very fast way. I believe, again, as I said to Betty, all retailers have got to get there.
But getting back to the inventory question, though, I mean, why is it that some retailers don't see that as important? I would think turnover is what you want. Turn
is the key measure, and I think that if they're planning their business too far out and don't have the manufacturing capability, this may move manufacturing closer to the States. This may get us to think differently about how far out we have to plan. 6 months, 9 months out is way too long in terms of what people are reacting to. If I need more white blouses because white blouses are trending fast, I have to find a way to satisfy that consumer.
Right, but there must be a downside to turning the inventory too quickly.
No, I don't.
If some retailers are saying, look, we don't want to do that.
I've never understood that, because I think you always have inventory, and you could always flow more things back in. Too much inventory is negative. Selling out of things and building consumer demand, I always thought is a positive thing. I think consumers come back a little faster when they know that there is a brand out there or a retailer out there that's satisfying their demands.
Now, what about the issue of being overstored in the United States? Are we taking care of that with this crisis?
I think that, yes, stores have gotten too large. The overstoring is a problem. I think, again, the way to look at that, it's harder to get out of leases. Many of these leases are 10-year leases, so it's not like bang, you can get out of all this overstoring. But what you put in the stores, how you creatively think about accessories, how you think about other product categories that may go into some of these stores. There was an article recently where 9 West stores are carrying New Balance sneakers. I thought it was an innovative way of thinking, oh, I have that consumer coming in. They may want sneakers or they may want shoes. I think there's a lot of retailers thinking that way. I know for Godiva, we put Godiva into BB stores and Victoria's Secret stores, and it did incredibly well. It makes some sense. Sexy brands, Godiva chocolate, it worked. I think you're going to see more and more of using the space in creative ways.
Is that more for branding, or is that really substantial to the top line?
I think it can be a business. I think it could be, again, consumer friendly. I don't know if it's totally, it's not to the top line. You can't do enough business. But I think it makes the consumer think these stores are a little more interesting. They're just not about a bunch of product thrown at them and at a discount typically.
Okay, Jay, great to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Betty.
Jay Margolis, who has been around in the retail industry, as you can tell.